My name is Kathy. I'm with busywomanyoga.com, and I got a call from my son who lives in another town from me, and he said his back hurt. And I know what that means because I have the same back as he does, or actually I should say he has the same back as I did, and I had to rebuild my back in yoga. So he said, "Mom, help me, please." So I said, okay, I'll put some things on YouTube that you can just do yoga with, and you'll understand what to do and what to do without calling me. So here they are. First of all, the pose Tadasana, which is the mountain pose, it's translated that way in English. It's the basic standing pose in yoga, and it is so important. It's so important. I can't emphasize that enough, because that sets up everything working right through your whole body. And what you want to do when you have back pain is you want to get usually some length in your back that is well situated. So in Tadasana pose, you can see me stretching my feet. First, I lift my ball of my foot up off the sticky mat, and I stretch my sole of my foot out and place it down, kind of like an animal foot. And then I do the other foot and I stretch it out, and then I pause and feel it a little bit. You want to connect with your feet. They're pretty far from your brain. They're about as far as you can get from your brain in your body. But you want to feel them, and you want to build the nerve pattern from your brain to your feet and have it working really well so that your awareness is in your feet basically all the time. Then, after you stretch the ball of your feet out, you want to stretch your heels out. So I've lifted my heels and pulled them back evenly and placed them a little bit further back. Maybe it's 1/8 of an inch, maybe it's 1/4 of an inch. It depends, just because of wherever you start with your feet. But as you practice Tadasana, the action in the feet, you'll get more aware of your feet, and your feet will get healthier, they'll get more muscle in them, they'll get more awareness, they'll get more length. And the inner foot in foot reflexology mirrors the spine. So the actions in your feet and where your weight ends up across the bones of the feet is very critical for healthy feet, healthy back. So when you're standing and you're stretched out the ball of the foot and the heel out and back, and my teacher, Mr. Iyengar, he divides the foot at the front heel line. So that's not where I used to think the middle of the foot was, but the sole of the foot he calls from the front heel out to the tips of the toes, and that's the first stretch you make. And the heel is where the heel bone is, from that front part of the heel bone area, that part that gets more discolored when you walk in the sand, and back to the very heel, that's the part that stretches back. So after you get your feet as balanced as you can for now, and don't be obsessive, just do the best you can and let it go, and then move up your body. You want your shin skin to lift up and your calf skin to descend down. Now, how do you go up on one side and down on the other? It's a challenge until you get yoga feet and legs, but until then, you just try it, and it will magically come together one day, and you'll go, oh, that's what she's talking about. So the shin skin goes up to the kneecap goes into the leg and up in a kind, gentle, but firm way. And the 4 quadrants, I like to call it, of the knee, the 2 sides and the front and the back, they come in and they kind of hug in to the knee in standing in Tadasana, so that you feel a firmness in your knee, but you also feel all 4 quadrants of the knee. Then you feel your thigh bone, and you lift up the muscles, all the muscles on the 4 quadrants of the thigh. So the inner and outer thigh, the front and back of the thigh, you lift up those muscles all the way to the hips. And then you get to the pelvis. The sacrum is on the back of the pelvis. It's tipped in at the waist end a little bit too much on most people. Sometimes it's tipped the other way. What you're looking for is balance, of course. So your tailbone at the end of the sacrum has to tuck in a little bit, You want to firm it in, and you can see me standing on the video. You can see a slight movement in my hips as I pull my tailbone in. And you get so that you're standing on the line at the grocery store and you go, oh, my tailbone's kind of out. I think I'll pull it in right now and just practice Tadasana right here in the line. And that's a very powerful thing to do, because you get your yoga in where you are. And then when you get your pelvis balanced and your belly is drawn in a little bit in a way that a real healthy mattress is, it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's just right. Once you get your tailbone in a little bit and your belly back and your legs and feet are all working, then you lift your spine up. And how do you do that? You lift your ribs up in front, you expand your chest, you take your skin up your front torso, over your shoulders and down your back to the base of your buttocks, which I call the gluteal fold, and you hug that gluteal fold a little bit strongly into the base of your buttocks. And then you've got a good Tadasana going. You make sure your head is level on your torso and your whole body, and you look straight out. You let your eyes be level. You let your head be level. You don't want it tipping down or up. You just look level, and you feel your skin down your back body. You feel your shoulders going down your back body, and you hug your shoulder blades a little bit into your back. And you take your triceps down your back of your upper arm. You roll them also in towards your sides a little bit. You lift your biceps up, and suddenly you go, wow, this feels great. And you get more and more familiar with the actions of Tadasana, broadening your collarbones, letting your neck just exit your torso in a natural manner. And that knowledge you will use over and over and over again in yoga and in life.